So tell me, to get put in that position, I mean, that's a huge deal. What do you think it was that they saw in you to put you over that quickly? I mean, obviously you had been doing it for years, but to put you over in that situation, which was unexpected, I think, to everybody watching the show that day. But
dude, it gives me, I get chills every time. But I think it's because Triple H was really wonderful with us in NXT. It was FCW, then he took over and named it NXT. Yeah, so I just won the NXT Women's Championship, and it was the first ever female match that was on the network. Remember that? The network?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And so we were the first ever female and the first ever pay-per-view that was on it. And then my T-shirt got released, which was the Think Again T-shirt that Triple H had made for me. And it sold out instantly, like that, just done. It sold out. So I think they were just like, oh, she could make us money. And so they were like, let's bring her up on the main roster, you know. And also, it was just something different. I feel like there was only one of me down in NXT at the time, like the pale goth chick who wore a lot of black and studs and stuff like that. Now it's the norm, and it's really cool to see that there's so many different like alternative girls out there. But at the time, like I was thinking about Lita when I was dressing like that. I was like, I loved Lita. Like that's who I inspired, like who inspired me to be myself, and my mother, of course. She's crazy, but yeah, so I feel like it was like a different flavor of ice cream, and it was the shakeup that the division needed at the time too. Like it was like Triple H who was the one that was pitching for me to go on the main roster, and Vince was like, fine, but she has to wear purple, and that was it. So I had to get my purple wrestling gear, and I slowly transitioned back into the black again eventually, and he didn't know it was a thing.
Very nice.
And it was real quick, and it was the day before that The Rock approached you about doing the movie,
which was nuts, dude. I cannot get over that. Like that is crazy. So bizarre. Like getting that text on my phone being like, hey, it's DJ, I'd love to speak to you at some point today. And I'm like, who the F is DJ? Why is he texting my phone? D. Malenko, legend, who now works in AEW too, which I love. That he was one of the reasons that I wanted to come to AEW too, because I'm like, Dean's over there. He's a good guy. He's like my mentor. And he was just sitting next to me, but he'll also cuss me out too. So he's just like, he was like, that's Dwayne Johnson, you idiot. And I'm like, oh my God. So I can't believe Dwayne's texted me. I didn't realize we were on like nickname terms. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I was just like, whatever, yeah, I'll be here chilling. You know, I'm just trying to act all laid back. The fact that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is texting my phone. Because at the time, he's not just the wrestler. He's this huge movie star who's the most famous man in the world, pretty much, right? And I'm like, oh my God, how intimidating. And then someone came and grabbed me, took me to his locker room, which I'm like, this looks really weird. Everyone's going to think something, you know? And so, like, I walk in, and he was just a big gentleman, right? Biggest sweetheart. And he's just like, hey, I'm DJ. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, duh, yeah.
Right.
And then he started, like, having just the conversation being like, oh, I watched Fast and Furious. Couldn't sleep one day. Still fighting with my family. Loved it. Reminds me of my family. I would love to do a movie on it. And I'm just like, so like I was like, what is happening? And I instantly just start crying. This is in the first like 2 minutes of me even being in there. And then he was like, oh, I was in the writers' room, by the way, and you're gonna be winning the Divas Championship and debuting the next day after wrestling. Crazy. And I'm like, what the heck, dude? And I'm just crying my eyes out. Like I just didn't know what to say. And then he was like, and no one can know anything, so keep it quiet. And I'm just like, how? Like this is nuts. And then walking out, Tamina, their cousins, so she's walking in to come see her cousin. She sees me walking out, so we bump into each other. And she was like, what are you doing in this, sis? And I'm like, I'm just a really big fan of Dwayne. Like, I just didn't know what else to say, so I'm just crying, just like, okay, bye. Like, walking away. But she's a sweetheart, too. I love T. She's great.
Yeah, that is an amazing story.